Hey snipers, Foster here. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Today I would like to talk to you guys about support and resistance. And as you can see in the background, I'm in Discord, our knowledge base, the place where we share all of our information about trading, about coins, about news, about everything crypto. For those who've never seen this and don't know about SnipersTube, make sure to look at the videos at SnipersTube and join our Discord. You can find the description, the links to Discord and the SnipersTube below. This is our Discord page. In this case, I'm in the Trading 101 channel, where we have all of these patterns, chart patterns, that people can use in trading, that we use in trading. And these already show these blue lines, right? We're talking about support right here and resistance. We're talking about support and resistance. Here we got support, we got resistance. So I'd like to take you guys to a Coinergy, in this case to the Vibe chart. This is a 2-hour chart of Vibe, and what we see here, by the way, seems to be there's a nice cup forming. There's a slightly misshaped handle, whether this is the handle with a breakout or there was a short handle with already a breakout. However, to talk about support and resistance level, I would like to show you guys the volume on these charts. This is the depth chart, the market depth. And what you see here is these are sell orders on the lower right. And this is the graph that shows how many people, or actually it's not so much how many people, like what the volume is of the selling. And Coinergy in this case shows a certain selection of this map, but if you look at Binance, this is the same chart, the 2-hour Vibe BTC. If we go to the depth, as you can see, we see a slightly different picture. This will actually go all the way back to 9500 Satoshi, and you can probably zoom out even more, as you can see. And of course you can zoom in. So one more time, the green is are the buying orders, and they are all set by setting buy limits that are activated once it reaches a certain price. And of course people want to buy, lower. People want to buy at the discount, and not buy at the top. That's why the price will go down, and here the price will go up, because everybody wants to make a buck. So there's going to be more volume. People want to sell higher. As you can see here, around 11,000 Satoshi, there's going to be, a lot of sellers. Just like here at 10,000, 1,000 less, there's a lot of buying going on. So if you turn this chart basically sideways, that is what support is on the left and resistance on the right. By the way, this gap in the middle is the difference between all the buy orders and the sell orders. And this is where the market price is set, which you see here. And in this right column is where you can basically buy at market price. So these people all buy at market price. They do not do sell or buy orders. That's, by the way, a nice trick a nice function, functionality of Binance, is that you can basically buy at market price. And the nice thing is, especially if you have like a small fraction of a Satoshi, of an Ether or Litecoin, you can easily buy, maybe a couple of hundred more Trons or Verges. And sometimes, or usually actually, there's a limit. I'm not going to go in detail in this video, but when you set a limit, then you need to do a minimum amount. And market prices seem to be just the smallest fractions you can trade. So that's a little tip. Let's go back to Coinergy. And so what we see here in Vibe, we have, of course, green candles, price going up, and red going down. And prices, for instance, here do not go higher than this level. It tried to go higher, as you can see from this wick, but then it was pushed back. So this area here, let me make a little ellipse here. Right, that area there, that is already resistance. So this is a resistance level. There's more and more people selling here, keeping the price there. So basically the red wall you saw is pretty high up here. I can probably show you guys when I go to the, now let's go to the 15 minutes. Okay, so what we see here is that there seems to be resistance at 11,000. And let's see, let's confirm this on the chart. And 11,000 level is right here. So, by the way, if you select here and you press Alt H, you immediately set a line over the entire chart. And as you can see, this line, this support resistance line matches this selling. It bounces off here. You have these wicks bouncing off. Then it's, I think we see what we have here is a double bottom and a breakthrough. Also on this level, that level where we just set basically here when we zoomed in, like so over here. And let's go back to this chart to find out. As you can see here, what would it be? For this one, I really have to go to Binance. As you can see, well, the 10,000 is a lot of buying, and there's a lot of buying at 10,100 and 10,200. So all those steps, and those levels are all here. I think I should zoom out a little more. Right, 10,000. And here's the 10,100 right here. And there you have the 10,200, seems to be here. And that is how this works. So there's all these buying walls here, and there's all these selling walls there. And if there's just enough pressure from either, it can break through. So I would like to take you guys to another coin. Let's do Ven. Let's see if we can draw some support lines, because basically, and resistance lines, that's what this is all about. And like I said, I'd like to go at least to the 30 minutes, preferably a 2-hour chart. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so what we have here is, let's take the bottom of this wick. So this looks like to be like this. A pennant, right? And how did I draw this line? Well, we have here basically proven support points that actually go up. So this would be an ascending line. Maybe when we draw this line, it might even end up right here at this level. I think that's a little bit too opportunistic, so let's just keep it here. So this is the pennant, right? And here we have resistance, right? Price wants to go up, it doesn't go up anymore. And it tries to go through and it doesn't. You see these wicks? And here again, so we have here lower highs and we have here higher lows. And these form a pennant. And a pennant, well, is supposed to break out. And what you see here is the breakout. There we go. There's your breakout. So you can go on and say, well, it looks like as if here there seems to be, if you look to the left here, there's resistance there, there's resistance all of these areas. We could take these wicks just to take an average, and it lines up here with the top. So let's do that. So this would be a new support resistance line. And what happens if you do that? You can see these rising areas here, right? So this point went up from this point, went probably even up from this point. So if you draw just a line from this area right here, there we go. So because this support will go up, and here we have a resistance line that we've identified by these tops, and by the history in the past, it's not just an accidental, it's not just a coincidence or an accident, accidentally, right? So what we have here is an ascending triangle. And what happens there? Well, we have a breakout again, right there. So this is where we break out. And so if you apply these support levels and these resistance levels, and you look at the big picture, and you can set the big support lines, resistance lines, and around there you can start making your trades. In this case, you can say, hey, there's an ascending triangle most likely, you might break out. Let's set a buy order. Let's set a sell order on 25%, 50%, another 25%, and maybe a stop loss if it doesn't go through. What we see here, well, here's the top. Is this an all-time high? Looks like it. So yeah, I could choose the top of the wick, or I can choose these. It doesn't really matter. Might as well, I can choose this here. So this is the highest price ever achieved so far. Almost 64.5, a little bit more than 64,500. And if you zoom in, of course, a little bit, if you have these lines, well, I can set another one maybe here. Although this is, it's kind of, it's difficult. This is a difficult one. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. And well, what we see here, we have, even though these are all-time highs, this seems to be a support line right here. It doesn't drop. Oh, there we go. This seems to be support. We have support here. We have support here. And what we can do is we can say, well, let's see how this goes. So we might be looking at another ascending triangle. Just like these tops seem to be going up, although they bounce off here of this line. So this is another way, not so much another way, but this is an, you can draw these lines to draw, another ascending triangle. And of course, to make a reference to one of my other videos about the Fibonacci, if we apply Fibonacci levels, I gotta make this one a little smaller here. Obviously, we see that there's a breakout here. Okay, so let's say that this would be the lowest point here, right? This one, and we go all the way up to this area right here, right there. Okay. Okay, so now Fibonacci, as I've explained to you guys, we can extend the lines like this. And what you see here is that this is a prediction of future support and resistance lines. It doesn't always come through, but in this case, as you can see, this support line, we bounce off here, is basically exactly the 38.2. And what we see here is that there is actually bouncing off of the 61.8 level. And as you can see here, these wicks actually bounce off of the 61.8. So this is, once again, one of those things. If you want to learn from either an ascending line or a descending line, trend, sorry, and you project those lines into the future, you have an estimate of support and resistance lines. So yeah, there we go. I like to keep this video as short as I can, even though I know I keep talking. I hope you guys thought this was useful, especially for those who are starting to trade. Always make sure you know where support and resistance is. So from that base, you can start recognizing patterns, and you're going to be more accurate in predicting what's going to happen. And if you just keep practicing this, and you realize that, hey, what I've predicted here actually comes true. This was actually, my first video was about that, is to try these patterns and then save them and look back if you were right. Because if you're right, then you can do the next step, and that's basically set your buy, sell, and stop loss orders, so you can actually start making some money. Well, I hope you guys appreciated the movie. I hope the audio is a little better than last time. I heard some comments on that, but I only have a webcam with a built-in microphone so far. Yeah, I hope you guys think this is useful, and see you guys next time. Snipers out.